So that's what I want to do, is walk you through the unboxing of it, the setup, and glue something together. So let's dive right into this. So obviously you'll receive the MiG welder here, and you get a box of accessories, and you got a very detailed, owner's manual with this, or user's manual on how to set it up. And you even have this sticker chart that's pretty neat that you can actually stick it to things. One of the things that you will receive will be the gun for the MiG. And this is a 10-foot lead on this. And it's got a very nice feel to it towards the construction, the thickness of the cord. You've got a flexible wand on it that will prevent the pinching of that. As far as the handle, it does seem very user-friendly with that. So this unit is set up to run as a 220, and you also have the adapter to drop it down to a 110 volt. And you do have a liner for it that you can replace when you are welding aluminum. Now, when it comes to the grounding clamp, this clamp here, it seems pretty comfortable. It's a good flexible hose on it. The clamp has a pretty good biting force on it, and it has the Euro style plug, just as many of the others do here. Now, when it comes to stick welding, it does come with a lead for the stick on that. And you also have your hose assembly for your gas connection. And that's your standard fitting as well right there. So it looks like about an 8-foot lead on that one. So that is something else that comes with it. Now, you do have a couple of different tips that comes with it. And that's a 0.3, 0.35, 0.45. So it's got different thicknesses and the tool to be able to swap that out. Now, the drive wheels, it does come with 3 different drive wheels. It's got the V-knurl groove on it, and one is actually set up as a groove so you can run a softer wire like aluminum or something along those lines. So what we want to do now is get more detailed on this, get things set up, and let's walk to the next step here. Now this right here is a 220 volt at 34 amps, or you have the adapter that you convert it over to the 110, but then that steps up to a 43 amp. So make sure that your wiring, your receptacles, and your circuit breakers are all set up for the correct amperage on that. So the way that we are running this today is we will be using gas on a 220. So we'll start off by making sure that our plug for the lead is plugged in. You've got this little cover here as a protective cover. And then you've got a couple different prongs here. One is going to be a pilot that you need to make sure that that is in line. Once it's in line, it's firmly seated into the brass valve. Then you would use this wand here to actually tighten it to lock it in place. So that was pretty user friendly. This lead here is 10 feet long, so you got some space between the torch tip and the box here. Now our next operation is the polarity. So since we are using gas, that we'll take this and plug this into our positive port here and make sure it firmly locks in. Now if you run gasless or flux, you would take this lead and plug it into the negative side of that. And whichever one that you are using, just make sure that the ground then follows back up with the remaining port here. And some ask what this other 2-prong port is, and this is the spot that you would plug in your spool gun, which that is not provided, but YESWELDER does offer it. And their model number for that is LBT 150. So that's something you can pick up at YESWELDER. So far as our controls here and our leads, they are plugged in. But let's walk through this display here. And as you can see on the display, you've got a nice cover here that's going to protect it from, say, dust or grinding sparks and things along those lines. So it's very user friendly with that. And when it comes down to the controls on it, you've got your manual MiG, your synergic MiG, your stick, and your lift TIG. And use a selector here to select between which one that you are using. Now when it comes to the gas or gasless, you have a selector here that will choose 100% argon, 75-25 flux, or if you're welding aluminum. And then this button here in the center is your wire feed. So with that, you can slow it or speed it up based off of the arrows here. And then you look over here to the far right, you have your wire diameter. And this will run a 0.023 at 0.6 millimeter, a 0.030 at 0.8, a 0.035 at 0.9, and a 0.045 at 1.2 for your thicker gauge metal. And obviously the thinner gauge will be the 0.023. So most commonly, we will be using a 0.030 here. And then you have this function here at the top that has a clear display letting you know your voltage and your amperes that you are running. So this is pretty neat as far as the setup on the front side of it. And we move over to the rear side of it. And this is something that's got a couple of different things. One, it's got the chart on it to let you know, as far as your duty cycle, your gas hookup, your power on off, and also your fan to help improve that duty cycle. So you can click the link down below to find out more details in the meantime. But as of right now, this YESWELDER, I'm 100% satisfied with the setup on it and what I see on it.